didn't let him do anything the rest of the day.
Put him in like a timeout?
Basically. I mean, we rode the rides, and he got to watch his sister ride the rides. It was part of his punishment. I mean, that's the only best punishment I can see at the time without having to take him to the restroom and spank him, which probably would have done nothing for him. Take something he wants away from him.
Right.
And it worked for a couple of days. Then that Monday, her mom was his mom was working overnights, and she hadn't come home yet. She was getting off at 7. Then I guess they were doing week 12 inventory, and this was probably about 6 o'clock. Her mom came over to the house. We opened the door while I was asleep instead of waking me up, and answered the door without even asking who it was.
Right.
Then he went to church, and as soon as he got out of church, he ran around the corner and was hiding from his mom.
Why? Did he misbehave in church?
I'm not sure if he was misbehaving in church or not. Her sisters and brothers are funny. Her sister will take your car keys and hide them and forget to tell you. That's how they are. But he just kept running off. I told him, I said, well, I went to the FDLE website. I said, look, you see all them blue circles? I said, you see those 3 red circles? And I said, the red circles are the ones you really got to worry about. I said, you still have to worry about these blue guys, but the red ones are the ones. I said, this is all within 1 mile of your house. I said, and this is within 5 miles of your house. I said, these are people that like to play with little boys and little girls, like what happened to Jessica Lunsford. I said, you don't want that to happen to you. Your mom doesn't want that to happen to you. I don't want that to happen to you. But you keep running off like this, we're not going to let you go to church. We're not going to let you go in. We will put you on like those kids have at the parks, where they have the little monkeys on their back with the leashes, and that's as far as you can go wander from us. No, I don't need that. I said, well, then you're going to need to quit running off. Right? Your mom's not doing this to be mean or anything. She's doing this for your well-being.
Right, protecting.
I mean, we care about you.
Well, back at that party, I guess you'd taken. Explain to me what happened with when you got out of UCH hospital on the 24th, and you had somebody's paperwork.
Oh yeah,
Did you end up on TV or something?
Yes, I did.
What happened?
I have acute reactions to antibiotics. I can take an antibiotic one time, take it a second time. By the third time I take it, I can't take it no more.
Okay.
It's probably from that drug overdose I received when I was 2 weeks old. I received my mom knows the exact dosage. I think it was 30 milligrams or 30 cc's, something like that, of keptomycin or streptomycin, which has caused my hearing loss. That's why I have a constant ringing in my ear. When I got done there, I had Bactroban on, and I had a rash, a real bad rash right there.
Yeah.
So I can no longer take Bactroban now. Well, I get out, we all get our discharge paper. Okay, Jeff, put it up in the glove box. I'm sitting there. A couple days go by. I think it was Sunday. No, this is 24th, 25th. Yes, it's the 26th of April. I'm looking up. I'm like, is this your paperwork or is this mine? Looked at it and said, oh, that's hospitals. Who's Kathy Carnegie, Ava Johnson, Juan George, and Karen Hollier. You know, I ought to call these people and tell them I know their social security numbers and date of birth, because they need to know this. If I was to call the hospital right now, they'll just sweep it under the rug. My best bet is to call the individual, let them know I have this paperwork, I'm willing to give it back to them. This way they can address it to the hospital, because if I don't do it this way, they'll just sweep it under the rug and nobody will ever know that it happened. So, called Fox 13. Fox 13 was like, yeah, we're definitely interested in that.
Mm-hmm.
And I called Ava Johnson, and she thought I was joking around until she started listening to the information I'd given her. Karen Hollier was still in the hospital in room 475. And let's see, Ava Johnson. Oh no, that was Carnegie. I'm sorry, Kathy. No, Kathy's Carnegie lawyer is the one that called me, and I gave her all the paperwork.
Did somebody at the party make mention of that and say, "Hey, I saw you on the news" or something?
Oh, my mom was kind of ticked off about it. She goes, "You're getting your face plastered all over TV." I said, "There's nothing wrong with it." I said, "I did the right thing." I said, "I'd want to know." I said, "It makes me wonder if my information inadvertently got out there." She goes, "Yeah, but now you got to worry about the hospital taking action against you and not giving you the same quality as care, because I don't care what anybody else says. It's happened before. Inadvertent mistakes are made.
Sure.
That can be explained off of, oh, I made a mistake."
Right.
I've seen it happen. I mean, I worked in a field that we strive to make, I can put it to you this way, had a use of force. No, the individual knew the inmate was being punched. But as the investigator asked this individual, "Did you see that inmate being punched?" He heard it. He didn't see it. But they didn't ask him if he heard it. They asked him if he saw it. So did he lie?
No. He answered the question.
He answered the question that they asked.
Mm-hmm.
He answered the specific question they asked. So I work in a field that where you strive to get, you have to word things and stuff like that. So yeah, there's ways to, well, I thought I did it, or I had a couple of stitches put in wrong because of this right here by the Zebra Hills doctor. She was ticked off at me because she had to do me the year before.
Well, did you say to anybody at the party, you may see me on the news next week?
My knowledge, no. I don't think so.
Now, what about, everybody was found with their clothes off except Zachary had a t-shirt on, partially on.
Go to bed with his t-shirt and...
Right.
Okay. That boy, he's either with his t-shirt on or with his t-shirt off. Heck, half the time he goes to bed with his school clothes on.
Yeah. He's getting to be a teenager. What all happened to him?
If I remember, I think I stabbed him 3 times. Once in the back and twice in the chest cavity, I think.
You don't recall stabbing him anywhere else?
Huh?
You don't recall stabbing him anywhere else?
Sir?
You don't recall stabbing him anywhere else?
No, not offhand. I mean, I still see pictures like, I can't believe I actually...
I understand. I understand. Look at your hand for a second. Open your hand up for me. See your hand?
Mm-hmm.
What do you see there? On this hand here? A few cuts. You right or left-handed?
Left-handed. I'm right-handed, but I can use both hands.
Okay. Do you remember which hands you used? when you were doing this? And you
Probably
used
both hands.
Both hands? Okay. Do you remember at any time while doing this, do you ever recall a knife breaking?
I recall 2 knives breaking.
Okay. Can you tell me where you remember him breaking at?
No, 1 knife broke, 1 knife bent.
Okay. Okay.
The bread knife is the one that bent, and I believe it bent about a 1/4 inch above the plastic handle, and it would make an L this way.
Okay.
I think, yes.
Okay. What about the one that broke?
The one that broke, I want to say would be your chopping knife.
Okay.
The long triangular one, I think that broke at the stock.
At the stock?
Yes.
What kind of handle was, what kind of handle was it?
Just cheap plastic.
What color, do you remember what color plastic?
Black, I think.
Okay. And where did,
blackish gray.
and where did it break at?
Right at the
Right, but at what point of the 3 did that break? And why did it break?
Might be from hitting the bone.
Okay, on who?
I think.
Okay, and do you remember?
I think when I got that.
Okay. Do you think the deep cut on the inside of your hand?
Yes.
That's when you got that?
Because that knife is smooth, whereas the bread knife was
Serrated.
Serrated, yes.
Okay. So, and where on your where was it that you stabbed him whenever that stayed? You know what I'm saying, or whenever that broke, rather.
I want to say in his back.
Okay.
I want to say the back.
Okay. Can you? I mean, do you know whereabouts? I mean,
midline.
Talking. I mean, you're talking back.
Midline. Yeah.
Midline.
Yeah, just below the shoulder blade, midline, I believe.
Okay. And did you ever? You didn't pull it out?
I don't think so.
Now, at what point, I was gone for a while, so if you've already said this, obviously, I was out for a second or two. With stabbing 3 times in the bed, at what point in time did you bring him from there? Why'd you pull him from in there? And where'd you take him? What'd you do? And when you were doing the stabbing in the back, where were you doing that at?
I know the first stab was in the bedroom. And I don't know why I took him out to the living room.
Okay.
Other than to set him and his sister together. And I think I was going to pick with them also, but that's when the circle started kicking in and I couldn't move anymore.
What kind of shape is the trailer in generally? I mean, as far as the walls.
That's the only. Excuse me. The only issue I had, and it really wasn't her fault. There was a roach problem with the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
And this is basically all of Florida. She tried, we tried, but there were just times I'd be with the medication. I couldn't get up, tie my own shoes if I had to, and she would just be out of gas. I mean, she's just tired from working.
Well, I'm not talking about the clothes and things like that. I'm talking about the walls. Like, were there holes in the walls, or?
To my understanding, some of that was from Tom, her ex. He liked to punch the walls.
Well, these had blood on them.
Okay, then I may have done those. I don't recall. Well, I may have done a couple of those.
Punching, that they're big holes, I mean, like the size of a body, almost like the size.
Oh, I don't,
You don't recall anything
I
like that?
don't, honestly don't recall whether no, I think I punched a wall, yes.
Yeah.
But to throw her, I honestly, right now, I don't know.
Again, we were still trying to answer the question on the actual knife. When you said that the knife broke in his back?
Yeah.
Where was that at? When you were doing this, what room were you in?
I think, if I remember correctly, it was the living room by the door.
Okay, so you already had him out there by the door?
Yes, sir.
Is there anything else that you did to him that you recall that?
I remember cutting him.
Okay, where do you remember cutting him?
His groin.
His groin?
Yes.
Can you explain to me? What?
No, I couldn't.
Okay.
No, please don't think, it wasn't it was
Okay.
not, in no way a sexual act.
Okay.
I don't know why.
What you said you cut him in the groin, what exactly did you do?
I think a big circle,
Okay.
and that was it.
You just cut a big circle?
Well, I cut a big circle and it just came right off.
What came right off?
As scrotum and urethra.
Okay. What'd you do with that?
As far as I know, I left it there.
Okay.
Next to him, as far as I know.
Okay.
Why, where was it?
Was there anything else that you, well, actually, it was on the other side of the room.
Okay.
So that's why, it was actually on the other side of the room. But now, do you remember anything else that you did with?
Should have been it. I know there was a lot of things falling when I knocked the dresser over. I want to say there was another knife that broke, but I don't remember it breaking. For some reason, I know one of them's bent.
We may come back to you as we go along. Because you used the bread knife, majority, you used that on, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, is that what you actually used to cut her head off, or not?
I think so.
You think so? Was that the knife that you used to actually, when you first make contact with?
I believe so. I have to pee.
Okay, certainly.
Please.
Absolutely. Come on.